Well, hello everyone, and welcome to HoGaSuSh Global Astrology. Know your planets, know yourself, or know your nation, know yourself. Okay, here we are. We have a very special show for you, and straight off the bat, apologies for being a bit late today. My bad. There were so many questions that came in over 2 pages, and then I've been agonizing over which ones to choose, which ones to look at, and in terms of the planning and all of that stuff. But as you can see, we are a 4, but we have a very special show today because for the first time on the show, we are joined by Susan Lynn. So Susan Lynn, welcome, and thanks so much for joining us. If you could just give a few words and I'll close down some pages here.
Thank you so much, Hogar, for having me on. It's a pleasure. It's an honor to be on with you all. I'm just hoping that I can hang. Like he's like, it's going to be fast, strap in, get ready. We're live. I'm like, wait a minute. I'm just trying to hang with the big dogs. That's what I'm trying to do right now. So excuse me in advance. That's what I would say.
No problem. You will do great. You are in great hands as well, because of course, I also have my 2 lovely co-hosts, which of course is Sheila of Celtic Tarot and of course, Lady G. Now, if you guys are wondering why the positions are a bit swapped around, we've just been having some little things here and there, the odd little missed email here and there, but it's all good. And as you know, we go at pace and we just dive in. So what we're going to do is, just so you know, Susan, we kind of tend to start international first. We jump in our esoteric aeroplane and we see a little bit of what's going on around the world. And then we dive in a bit into the US politics. But there are very, very interesting questions that have come in tonight. So it's going to be mainly 1 card pulls. And then we will go in as well with 1 or 2 deeper questions. Right. Okay, let's begin. So straight away, we're going to go international and we're going to India and Pakistan. And this is a question in from Nick Minks. And she says, Pakistan and India are being hit by major water-related events. And she says, Neptune again, question mark. Do the cards show this subsiding, or will it get worse? So we know we've got global warming, but Neptune is in sidereal Pisces. As you know, I'm a Vedic astrologer, and that can mean water, water, water. Lady G also predicted this as well. But let's take a look, and it's going to be a 1 card pull each, and then we each interpret our cards. Yeah. All right. So let's see here.
And we usually don't look at our cards. It's like a surprise to everyone.
It's a surprise, yeah.
Oh,
all of us. Yeah.
Yeah. You shuffle, you don't look at the card, and you just focus on the question. Okay.
That's the fun part. We don't know what we got either.
All right, let's do this thing. All right, I got my card.
No problem. You ready? And we hold it like this with the back side facing camera, and then after 3 we flip. So 1, 2, 3. Oh my goodness. And what we'll do is, so Lady G, we're going to go anti-clockwise on this one. So we'll start with you, Lady G, then Sheila, then Susan, then me.
Well, very easy to interpret, a lot of loss, a lot more water. And unfortunately, that happens so many times in India.
Yeah, very difficult, isn't it? Sheila, how do you interpret your card?
Well, mine is the 8 of Pentacles, and it has a lot to do with you better get your infrastructure taken care of. They're losing their infrastructure. They're losing the ability to deal with it says do the groundwork, literally on the 8 of Pentacles. Do the groundwork. I have to also mention that water also represents high emotions. So either they're usually the destruction of water, it means that they are upheavaled in their emotions. But there you go.
Fascinating. And Susan, how do you interpret your card? What card do you have?
I got the Queen of Wands, which is interesting because my spirit guide said more water. It's going to get worse. But how I interpret this is it is going to get worse. And I feel like there's going to be a new woman talking to Modi and talking to the, which is very interesting because I don't think they really, I'm not sure that they embraced women's views or women, you know, particularly. But I feel like this is telling me that either this is also to me like Mother Earth, like this is female energy to me. So I feel like it is going to get worse. Maybe I just heard maybe the mothers of the victims, of the husbands, of the farms. I just feel like you're going to hear more and more women's voices, but I do think it's going to get worse. I hate to say.
Yes. And of course, you guys can see, again, you don't have to be that much of a tarot reader to understand this one. I've got the 10 of Swords, and which of course again is loss, endings, even a sense of betrayal that can be involved here, particularly when we're thinking of things like infrastructure and stuff like that. We know that these areas of the world are prone to flooding, but and again, it's not to be a critique, but when we think of it, like if we think of like what happened in the States, you know, the boundaries were put up, that infrastructure work was done. It doesn't necessarily mean it's not being done. I don't know enough about the story, but one suspects, you know, that maybe the money's not being fully spent where it needs to be. We also know as well, India has a very advanced nuclear program, but maybe some of that money could be spent on some infrastructure things and stuff like that. But yeah, I don't see it abating much either, particularly in light of global warming, and with Neptune being in sidereal Pisces as well, is water. So they're going to have to probably change policy and really put a lot of infrastructure projects in place. Bless. Anything to add to that, ladies, before we move on?
Yeah, unfortunately, in India, every year they have flooding, especially around Bengal region, and there are so many. Unfortunately, you're talking about infrastructure. There are so many just villages. They just don't have anything, and especially when it's raining in upper North India, you have the Himalayas, and then it's coming down the mountains, and it's going into the Ganges, and it's a nightmare.
Wow.
It's a nightmare.
Wow. And that is coming as well from Ganga's direct experience, because Ganga has spent a lot of time in India, in that part of the world. So you're speaking from experience and what you've borne witness to yourself. And sometimes the water is just so epic now, you know, because of the global warming. So in essence, as the globe gets warmer, the air gets hotter. Hot air is able to hold more moisture. It's as simple as that. It's like a sponge. It can hold more, and then when it dumps, you just get an overflow of quantity of water. And of course, as well, populations have increased significantly since, you know, 70s, 80s, 90s, etc. So you have more people, even around the world, living on floodplains. So we wish them the best, but there needs to be a major change there, doesn't it, on policy? All right. So the next question that we have has come in. It's another Nick Minks one, but we've got some variety of people here as well. And she's asking about Meloni, the Italian prime minister. Her first name just has gone completely out my head. Is it Giorgia? Is it Giorgia Meloni? Her first name's gone out of my head. But anyway, so it's the female prime minister of Italy. So Nick Mink says, Meloni was doing a lot of eye rolling during the Zelensky White House meeting. So you had all of the European peeps together, British Prime Minister, Germany, von der Leyen, you know, was there, NATO was there, everyone. Anyway, do the cards show which agenda she aligns with? Although right-leaning, she has shown to be supportive of Ukraine. But again, is that just a ruse, she asks. So this is asking, where does Meloni truly align? Is she still aligned with Putin and Russia, or does she really want to help Ukraine? And this will be another 1-card pull. We'll see what we get.
Well, I mean, she had to sit next to the stinky man. She had a hard time breathing.
Well, someone here was saying Meloni was sexually harassed by Donald Trump at the G7 summit. Oh my goodness. I'm not sure if that was, well, anyway,
I can check and see what the story is about that if you want me to.
Indeed, yeah, if you could. And someone there, Foggy's saying Putin was eye rolling a lot too. I think everyone's got an eye roll with Trump, haven't they? And then we'll see. And then, yes, let's pull a card on that. What's going on with Meloni? I think her name is Georgia, but I might be getting that wrong.
It is. You have her first name correct.
Oh, good. Thank you. All right, Meloni. What's going on with Meloni? What's the energy there? All right. Are we all ready? All right. After 3. 1, 2, 3. Whoa. All right. This time, Sheila, you'll be going first.
Well, mine is meeting. For some reason, my guys just said, we're going to just call it what it is. It was a meeting. But I did watch the video, and I did have a few observations of it. For one thing, he stunk. I mean, there was a lot of people around him. We all know that he stinks. She was having a hard time with that. I honestly think that he keeps his stink on just to distract everybody, to keep them focused on something. To be honest with you. And she was incredible. Weapon. Yeah, exactly. Like a literally chemical weapon. But she was obviously very, very uncomfortable and she didn't look agreeable whatsoever. So I got meeting, so maybe somebody else got with something else. Let me see what my second card has to say. Meeting child. She really had a judgment against him. From what I saw, she does not like him, and she's not agreeable with him at all.
Wow. Okay, so Susan, what card do you have? And I'm looking in my I wonder if I should change my camera. I'm just realizing I'm slightly on the wrong camera. Go for it. I'm taking a risk. I'm going to
take a risk.
Change my camera, because I was thinking, like, why does it look so strange? Oh, here we are. That's a bit better. All right. Go for it, Susan.
All right. I got the Ace of Swords. I feel like she's 100% behind Ukraine, but it's mercenary reasons, because she's from a very, that's a small country. Ukraine's actually quite a physically big country. And she feels like they don't have a hope if Russia steamrolls, Ukraine. They're going to come to these other countries and require them to bend the knee. Even if they don't attack them, they're going to require them to bend the knee. So she is supporting Ukraine because she understands that she'd rather them be the proxy, kind of warrior than her country. And I don't think I think she's a little bit too right, really, for me. But in this case, she's smart. She's like, nope. No, I don't want this war. We're going to let them fight it. So that's what I think.
Yes, I would concur with that. If there's one thing Meloni is, and people have said this about her, she is smart. She's a very, very savvy political strategist. Here, for Meloni, what I get is the 10 of Pentacles. And this is the card of institutions, institutions, legacies and stuff like that. But as we're talking about Europe, I think Europe, the EU flag, I think it's got 10 stars on it. Anyway, no, it's got a few stars on it. But anyway, this makes me think, yes, she is actually behind Europe and the institutions of Europe. I think she wants those institutions to remain. And I think quite rightly, as you say, she would rather Ukraine be fighting that fight rather than that being spreading out and, coming to Italy and stuff like that. So I would agree with that. Lady G, how do you interpret your card?
Well, I also agree. She's supportive of Ukraine because she wants the justice, and she's with NATO and with them handing out the aid to Ukraine. But I think when people go and they have to be around Trump, when they come in, they should hand them the little thing of Vaseline with the menthol like they do with dead bodies.
Wouldn't that it be funny if everybody showed up with a gas mask? I think that would just floor us all. I did get some information about the harassment.
Right.
It says I double checked it and I put it through ChatGPT to see if we can bring up anything. It says there's no credible report about that. What was witnessed was that she did an eye roll to the French president, and that pretty much is about the only thing that really has come up. I think it's an eye roll to Macron. So there's no that happened, but also just a little small thing. I was in Sicily, and I got all of the stories that Italy and Sicily have been just, their leadership has been turned around like a rolling, because people keep on trying to conquer them. And I'm pretty sure she probably has that fear too. I don't, if Putin's going to conquer Ukraine, he's going to come for Italy as well.
Of course. And thanks for that extra clarity there as well, because obviously, people do mention things in the chat and they may have heard it from somewhere else. And it's very hard, particularly me as the host as well, to fact check anything live on air, because obviously I've got to be looking after things. So thanks so much for that. But it seems, I think we've established that Giorgia Meloni, she switched on, no problem. She switched on. She's thinking about Italy, but she's also thinking about the institutions of Europe. And it makes sense, doesn't it? Because geographically, I mean, okay, Ukraine, like you said, is a big country, but it's not such a leap in the imagination to see how things could go further. Okay, are we ready for the next question? Yeah. All right. So I was rummaging through the papers and then I realized, oh, there's some one or two juicy ones in here that I thought I almost overlooked. So we're actually going to go to America a bit sooner than planned, because we need to talk about Melania Trump. And I think we should have some Shakespeare here as well. I think this should be the first Shakespeare of the night. So here, oh, it's Nick Mix again, I've just noticed. Anyway, says Melania apparently sent a letter to Putin about the children of Ukraine and ending the war. So apparently she did. And then this is quite controversial. She said, is there a chance the letter was an encoded message giving Russia direction to target? Yeah, target the US, I think, or target them. Also not sure she signed that letter. So let's just read into this. One card pull again. One card pull. What is the energy behind Melania's letter? Was it genuine for the kids? Because she does kind of speak up about stuff like that. Or was there something alternative? And Susan, are you getting a bit of a psychic hit already? Or?
Well, I mean, yes. I mean, first of all, I don't really think this woman, well, she did write a book, remember? And she did write that speech that she lifted from Michelle Obama. So she's got a good history of being an author, right? I mean, I'm sure we can trust whatever it is. And I'm sure she really is naturally a writer, right? Like, no, I don't think so. But yeah, I think she did. I think it was coded. Yeah.
Oh, all right. Well, let's see what comes out in the cards. So again, we're going to go on 3, and this time, Susan, you're going to be first. All right, here we go. Ooh. After 3. 1, 2, 3.
I got meeting again. What? I shuffled.
Yeah, if that comes out, that's what comes out. So, Susan, how do you interpret your card?
Well, we have the 3 of Wands, where the guy's looking for assistance, right? And you could even say that this is like the cabinet. 3, 4 people are involved in this. We're sending a message. We're looking for assistance. They're clearly looking out into the vast nothing. That kind of looks like the tundra to me, frankly, parts of Russia, flat, nothing. I think this is help. This is, to me, what I'm getting is this is help. We need, maybe she did write it. Please help me get rid of my husband, right? Like, what can you do? But it does seem, to me, it seems like we need help. That's the message that I'm getting psychically and also from this card.
Fascinating. Okay, that's really interesting.
see.
That's a very interesting take. What I've got here on my card is the Queen of Wands. And this really, I think this really is representing Melania, particularly as I associate the Wand Suite not only with fire, but also with entrepreneurship. And we know she likes to sell her little jewelry and bits and bobs on the side. The higher energy of this card can be a woman that is trying to be conciliatory and trying to bring everyone together in debate. Yeah, in debate. However, sometimes though, what this card can, what the black cat can indicate, it can indicate a woman who is in tune with her intuition and has intuitive abilities, or may have a different agenda to what is being presented. Yeah, because the cat is showing an alternative. So I have a feeling it might be a bit of both. I want to try and, not that I want to big her up too much, because we know she's not the best person in the world, but I do think the letter may have some validity to it in terms of, because what we need to remember is that she's from Slovenia, isn't she? So she's former USSR bloc, and she's going to have conflicted feelings about Russia because Russia did a lot of dodgy stuff. But what else is in that letter? I feel like it might be a double message. There's something else going on. So she's advocating for the return of the kids, but there's more under it that maybe Putin would understand, but we wouldn't necessarily see it. Do you see what I mean? That's what I'm feeling with the cat there. Yeah, Lady G, your thoughts.
Sorry, wrong number.
Whoa.
Now we know how much she loves children. You know, I don't give a rat's ass. Basically, she wore on her jacket.
Mm.
But I think with the Epstein things that are going on and everything, that she's kind of trying to distance herself, and we just care so much about the children. Yeah.
Good point.
Yeah. Make herself feel good. AI written letter. She's no, she does. Yeah, no.
AI written letter. Wow, that's so fascinating. And Sheila, you're going last. What do you think?
Well, thank goodness I was going last, because I kind of asked some clarification in the meeting. Okay, so the meeting, so stick with me here. AI generated 100%. She can't write shit, stuff, anything. Sorry, that's word. She can't write anything. Number two, I agree. She could care less that there was children being put in cages. This is not her agenda. This has never been something that she even cared about. Now, number four, I think this is connected to the Fox narrative where Trump was going on there and saying that I need to do something so that I can go to heaven because it doesn't look like I am there. And my whole scenario that I just got here was him and his wife talking. His wife saying, "You're going to hell because you're not going to save the children." And she goes, "I'll write a letter, see if it'll help." I mean, these are basic people. We are not talking over manipulative, complicated, people who think on the higher level of complications here. These are children talking to a leader that knows that he's talking to children. I have a feeling that's what it kind of relates to. I don't know if it's a code, but I think she probably thought that her femininity could influence Putin. Putin and her may have had some, back in the day, some flirting going on. So she may have thought that she could have some influence on that. And he wants that prize. What is that? The prize that he wants?
He wants the Nobel Peace Prize. He does want it.
He children, he could get that.
You know what? I think Hoagie's onto something. I think all you guys are onto something, because the guide started talking to me about those children. Like, I haven't thought about those children. Literally, I mean, it just hasn't been to the top of mind. But last week I started talking about those children, and I'm wondering if you're all right, like the letter probably written by AI because she dictated it into the phone, and then it's about the children, because there's a double entendre here of this is a bargaining chip. If you go get 400 children, you can come back and probably get Zelensky to budge, because how bad is he going to look if he says, "No, I'm not bargaining with you"? even if you're showing me 400 kids. You guys, that is something that he would have to, that would be a crucible for him. So I think in a way, we're all picking up on the meat of it. It is coded. It is a double entendre. And it is, I think the children are going to be in play. I think you're right. I hope, I wouldn't have given her that credit, but of course, it's Knives Out. It's that kind of, I want to help the children.
And it's survival.
Idea. I really don't. I don't think it's her idea. I don't think in fact, they probably sent it off going, hey, does this look good? She go, yeah, do it. And they did it.
Oh,
or didn't even know, or charged them. She probably charged them $7,500 to put her name on it.
I agree with you. I'm gonna charge you my name going on that. Yeah, absolutely. She could care less. I don't see her. They use her as usual.
Yeah, I mean, and that's fair enough. But I trust my cards and what I get, and I think there is a double entendre in there. I think that there is more going on under the surface, because I've met a lot of people from Eastern Europe through my work in the past and stuff like that. And a lot of them tell me a lot of extra stuff about Russia that we don't hear in the media, that does not hit the mainstream. And it's a very complicated and quite difficult relationship, particularly former Eastern Bloc. But I love this diversity of opinion. But I think whether she wrote the letter or dictated the letter or not, I think there is more here. I think we are picking up, there is a bit more to it. And I would say that. Right, so let's do a bit of Shakespeare. Yeah, let's do a bit of Shakespeare. First of the night. Now, what happens is, now, Susan, as you are a guest, you're going to be the one to tell me when to stop. What I've got here is this little booklet, and it's called Shakespeare, the Bard's Guide to Abuses and Affronts. And it's a rather elegant way that we can say unflattering things about people without breaking the YouTube algorithm. Yeah.
I love that.
So I'm going to flip backwards and forwards in the book, and instinctively, whenever you feel like, just tell me to stop, and I will read that page, and that will be the Bard's opinion on Melania.
Yeah?
Oh yeah, strap myself in. Okay. Okay, stop.
All right, let's see. Oh, it's actually fallen in the middle page, which actually says character and villainy. So let's see what's on the next one.
There's nothing to her.
Well, the thing is, like, okay, look, because you see it fell in the middle page. So it fell in the middle page, introducing it. So I have to read the first one. And then it says here, from 12th night, thou art a wickedness.
I think that describes it.
Thou art a wickedness. Let's try once more. Let's try once more to see if I can not fall on the center page and see what else we get. So you're going again, Susan. Let's try one more time.
Okay, stop. Come on, Shakespeare. I feel like I'm betting on the ponies. Oh,
yeah. I mean, this one says, and this is from Coriolanus. I do hate thee worse than a promise breaker. And then on the next page it says, "Oh, thou vile one."
That's it right there.
Very kind of just very. She doesn't really get any. There's no, like, sometimes he gives very sophisticated responses.
Oh, more floral. Well, give somebody else a spin.
Sorry?
She's excited about this. She's like, let's do somebody else.
Oh.
See what somebody else gets.
We will. We'll do another one, because we've got Stephen Miller coming up. So we're going to do Shakespeare.
Goodness gracious.
Well. But however it
doesn't have character, honey. She doesn't have anything substantial. She has no character.
Yeah.
Yeah. It was very, very basic, wasn't it? It's very basic. I do think there's a double entendre in there, but it was very basic. He wasn't giving her much. All right. So we move. Pardon me. Shall we move on to the next question? Yeah. And I just want to say thank you to everyone as well. We have 2,451 of you with us right now. So thanks so much for joining us. And if you haven't done so yet, please do like and subscribe and share and all that jazz, because it really helps the channel expand and grow and reach more people so they get to enjoy this content as well. All right. So let's do question number 4. I've got to rummage around. Oh, this is very, very interesting. So now we're going in our esoteric aeroplane and we're going to go to Venezuela. Yeah, we're going to Venezuela. So Denise Ferguson, but is involved in the US. Denise Ferguson asks, US Navy confirmed to Reuters that 3 destroyers and 4,000 troops and spy planes will arrive in Venezuela's international waters by Wednesday. Wow. The Department of Defense has denied this. This is supposed to be a part of Trump's plan to stop drugs flowing into the US. President Maduro vows to activate 4.5 million militiamen, stating no empire will touch the sacred soil of Venezuela. What do the cards have to say about the US versus Venezuela? So, I think on this one, I think let's do a full card pull on this, because I want this to be extracted out a bit more. So let's do a full card pull, and we see what we get. I normally pull 5, but whatever is a full card pull for you guys, because this is quite something, isn't it? All right, let's see. And I think I'm going first, actually, ironically. Let me just do it. Venezuela, US versus Venezuela. So interesting. The bard had so little to say about Melania. It's like he couldn't be bothered.
I don't blame him.
Oh, this is interesting. Oh dear. Oh. All right. Okay. So US versus Venezuela. Yeah. Now, actually, I've got a friend of mine called Neliana, and a big shout out to you, Neliana, if you're watching. And she's helping me with my retreat in Ibiza. I'm having a Neo-Vedic astrology retreat in Ibiza from the 7th to the 10th of November. Just for those that don't know, it'll be in the video description. But so she's Venezuelan, and I've been learning a lot about Venezuela. She had to flee, like a lot of people did years ago, though, and make a new life in the UK. And this prospect, I think, is, if we see here, we've got the 9 of Swords. This is what? Worry, sleepless nights. I think this just adds to the anxiety of what is happening in Venezuela, because it is essentially a failed state now. They're not even able to refine and do things with the oil, and there's so many sanctions and stuff like this. So it's just adding to the problems. Here in this, which is actually turning up in the obstacle position, funny enough, is the King of Cups. And this is normally associated with democracy, or we used to call it the Joe Biden card. I have a feeling that this might be Maduro himself, but the shadow of this card, because he is a bit of a dictator and he's not been good to Venezuela, the shadow of this card can be extreme manipulation, a very manipulative man. So I think this is him here, but this is also about emotions. And I think he's wanting to stir the emotions as well of the Venezuelans. If we look here in the middle, we've got the Fool card here. In its positive sense, it can talk about a leap of faith, knowing that the universe has got your back. But this can also talk about literal acts of foolishness. In the positive iteration, the little white dog can be encouraging the fool to take the leap, but it could also be a warning as well. But who is being foolish here? I'm thinking that what Trump is proposing is not a good idea. Yeah, because the Venezuelans haven't come up with this. I think this is another foolish move. And especially so when we look here, we get the Tower. This is not good. This is not going to be good. Yeah, I think they're going to have to walk this one back, because I think the way that Venezuela is going to respond may shock the administration. Yeah. And then if we look here, the outcome card is the Knight of Pentacles. And this is the slow and steady, or the loyal. This can be the loyal knight. Once upon a time, actually, there was a strong relationship between Venezuela and America. And Venezuela, via the American oil companies that were pumping the oil, was giving consistent money. But this card, the shadow of this card, can also talk about the mercenary. So I think when Venezuela threatens 4.5 million militia, I think they mean it. And I think it could backfire. So, Lady G, you're next.
Well, the reading's about moving rapidly. This is a burden and could be a Tower moment.
Oh.
So it's not a good thing when it comes to the harvest. You know, this is a fight he's doing. He's pushing for and putting out that message that he's coming and he's going to do this. So what's going on now? The concrete message is strengthening this charging forward. But when it comes to Venezuela leadership, this is a painful thing that's being offered up. And so potential outcome going forward, this is a delusional happening, of course, of this new action by Trump. He's not thinking things through. Again, as usual, it's just knee-jerk reaction, trying to, spin things away from Epstein. Anything to do to spin things, blow up something, make something big, huge drama. But it's still not going to take the eyes off of Epstein.
Yeah, very good point. I agree. Sheila, what cards do you have for this Venezuela, America versus Venezuela scenario?
Well, I'll be really quick. My first impression was it's another military parade. It's all performative. It's very much like performative, and I got strength in this, that, and the other. I got Empress, legal problems. I mean, the legal problems usually a slow down of your control, slow down of your abundance. So that's what the legal proceedings kind of means in that. So that whatever he thinks his abundance is, it's not coming to fruition. It's slowed down. There's some serious problems. There is a crime of passion. There's a King of Pentacles with a crime of passion. And of course, they're not doing the right thing. Of course, they're in it for something other than what it's supposed to be, right? Mm-hmm. So we have the Page of Wands. The pages are always pages to me are always the freshmen going into college. They don't know nothing. They think they're a big shit, right? They're big. I don't know why I'm cussing so much. This is ridiculous. They're all big. Sorry, I'm so sorry. It's just one of those nights. So I got the Page of Wands, but I got Justice. So it's almost like they don't have much to hold together. They don't have much to help them out. So I don't know what that is exactly, because I don't know Venezuela that much. But the end result here is whatever is happening, whatever their little performative is, it's going to die quickly. It's going to end quickly. So whatever that is, and I got Eclipse. And every time I got Eclipse on any situation, because I had to pull a few more to understand it, an eclipse is that delusion that there's no sun. And now, you know what I mean? They're just trying to focus on the delusion, black out the people's minds of ideas or whatever's going on. It's literally performative, in my opinion. So.
Indeed. And Susan, so what cards did you get?
I agree with everyone else, and I would add that I got the Knight of Pentacles, which I think you also pulled.
Yes.
To me, this is from the United States. This is an offer. Work with us. You know, it's kind of like Trump always feels like it's the same thing we talked about with Meloni. Look, just work with us. We won't take you over. We just need you to be our subjects, right? So I feel like this is slow. This is slow, steady progress. We want to see it our way. It's kind of like when the mob shows up with the baseball bats. See it our way, right? And then I got the Six of Cups. So they wanted to go back the way it was. I didn't know that we had some sort of, happy relationship with them at some point regarding the oil. They want to go back. Look, we want to get this oil. I actually also think Russia wants this oil. Through us, right? But then we switch over to Venezuela. Venezuela is like, no, we're going to protect what's ours. There is the Nine of Wands. We're gonna stand our ground. Maybe we're not, the biggest, baddest military, but we're gonna stand our ground. We're not gonna back down. And the last card I got was the Two of Swords, which is basically a stalemate. I don't think this is going anywhere. I think this is a show of force. I think Sheila's right. I think all of you guys are right. This is a show of force. This is to give Fox something to look at. And a lot of people in the comments, Trump always wanted a war. He wants to be a war president. He wanted that parade. He loves the idea of the ships being an extension of his power. So guess what? We're going to have Fox News videoing all of this. It's going to be everywhere. And already the media is, going to run wild with it. And that's what he wants. But I think in the end, it's going to be a stalemate. I think Venezuela is not going to roll over. They know what they have and they're ready. They're going to fight. They're going to fight for it.
Yeah. Yeah. Gosh, fascinating. Thanks so much for those insights. And it's so funny, isn't it? Like when we pull these cards and how the story comes together with our, and this is why we love the one card pulls on the show, because it can really get to the essence of something. And yeah, it is performative. Trump would rather anything else happening in the world than the whole Epstein thing, because he knows it's really upset his base. I was watching some independent YouTube media today, and it seems like even some of his base is now going over to Gavin Newsom. Yeah, even they call them groypers. Even apparently the groypers are starting to, you're like, wow. So he is having to distract a lot. All right, are we ready for the next question? The time goes so quick. So this is another one card pull. This time we're getting in our esoteric aeroplane and we are going to Texas. Yeah, we're going to Texas. Let me just say, I just need to say a few thank yous here. So thank you, Susan, so much for your donation. Thank you, Nord. Thank you, Patty Folkestone. Thank you, Foggy, so much. And then someone here is saying as well, question, who will ICE go after next? Are people on Medicaid in danger? So maybe we might be able to squeeze that one in. Here, another one is Nick Minks again, but it's just a useful question. She says, and Dumpy Crumpy, Donald Trump, is off on an attempt to cancel millions of voters. So I think this is talking about wanting to get rid of the post-in votes. Is that correct? I think this is something he's talking about.
Mail-in votes. Yeah.
Mail-in votes.
Yeah.
Right. Okay. So and she says, do the cards show if there's still enough to prevent gerrymandering being put in place? So she could also be talking about Texas as well. Oh, let's see. Shall we look at the Texas thing? Because just before I started the show, I think they were actually debating whether or not they're going to do the redistricting just before we came on.
Wow.
So shall we look at that? Yeah. Or Sheila, what insights do you have there?
Well, right now they're holding a Democrat hostage in the state building right now because
What?
Yeah, this is no joke. She will not sign what they wanted. All the Democrats went back to Texas, and then they wanted a police officer or somebody to follow them wherever they went, so they won't leave a town again so that they can get their stuff done. However, one of them said, I'm not signing it, and so they wouldn't let her leave the building. She's been there for 2 nights. 2 nights. So I don't know if today or tomorrow they do plan on doing the thing. However, I haven't had an update on that. Was it today, ladies? Was it today that they were doing? I have to look that up. But that's what's going on right now. That's what our attention is on right now. It says the Texas gerrymandering has passed the House.
Oh, I knew it.
And now it's going to the Senate. So you know dang well that they're going to do it. I knew from the get-go when they started all of this that they were going to get that done. I knew the Democrats are doing what they can just to bring some enlightenment to it so that people knows exactly what's going on. What I think maybe our question may lean to is, how do the Texas people think about all of this theatrics that's going on? Is it going to really work in the Republicans' favor?
Well, another thing that I wanted to say with that is Newsom is going to redistrict California.
That's just what I was going
to offset what Texas is doing. So my question would be, is that going to offset the Texas things?
Right. Okay. So here we are. We have 2 questions, folks. As you could see, breaking news live on the show.
Right.
That was exactly what I was thinking. I thought they're going to do that. They're going to do the gerrymander. But then, of course, Gavin has already said, all right, if you're going to go there, we're going to go scorched earth on you guys. So this is we're going to have to ask both. So Texans,
Pennsylvania, and so is Illinois. Pennsylvania and Illinois also say if you gerrymander, we're gerrymandering as well.
Exactly. So Texans' view on what happened. And then we'll do blue state response. Wow, wasn't expecting it to go that way, but yeah, live TV, folks, live TV. I just want to say a quick thank you as well to Vanessa, much appreciated. Teresa and Clarefield, thank you so much. We need to get off oil, Hoagie, even Venezuela. Yeah, indeed. And indeed, we the whole world needs to. The whole world need to. Okay, thank you so much for your donation. Okay, Texans' view on what has just happened. 1 card pull, yeah, and then we're going to see blue state's response to what has just happened. Live TV, folks. My goodness. Oh, you can't make this stuff up, isn't it? What times we are in. Oh. All right. Texans' view on what has just happened.
Well, leave it to Republicans to always amp up all of their bad stuff out into the open. They always do something more horrific than what they originally thought of.
All right. So are we ready? Okay. After 3. 1, 2, 3. Oh. This time, Lady G, I think it's you first, isn't it? Because I went, so it's you.
Well, I have the Queen, and I think that she's wanting to hold on to their own ideology. I don't think they're going to be happy with what they're doing. They want to have the vote as it is in a beneficial way, not to have this redistricting drama going on.
Sheila, how do you interpret your card?
Well, I asked her what the Texas people think about their government right now, and they call them lies. They're liars. So I'm hoping that this card also reflects how they vote.
Yeah.
Oh, so they're not pleased. Susan, how do you interpret your card?
I got the the Wheel of Fortune, and I feel like this is karma. I feel like this is going to come back and bite them in the rear end. I think there's a small subset. You guys, I lived in Texas for like 35 years. I think there's a small subset that believes that these Democrats broke the law or they didn't do the right thing. But when you look at the issues, I believe that the Republicans are going to vote Democrat. Just the way you were just saying earlier that Newsom has got support. I feel like you can shut out Jasmine Crockett. You can take away her district. I think she's going to win anyway. I think more Republicans than not are going to go towards the Democrats. I think this is the wheel of fortune. I think they spun the wheel. They said, let's leave it to fate. Fate is about to hand them their backside.
Wow, this is fascinating. My goodness. Breaking story, folks. And we're going to see the Democrats' response. As you can see here, I've got the star card. And as you know, when I'm reading all these political things, you know, I've evolved my meanings of this card. This card I often refer to, can talk about d'éclairage. Yeah, yes, in its benign sense, it's the universe has got your back, etc. So, if we take the positive stance, I also associate this card with the spotlighting. Yeah, you see how big these stars are? She's well lit, and I think my instinct, and based with what all of you are saying, I think this will backfire. Because what it has done is it has spotlit the fact that the GOP are admitting they cannot win on policy.
Yeah.
It doesn't look strong to stand up there and going, you know what, we know that we're not good, so we're going to gerrymander to make sure we win anyway. And what they're doing is they are undermining their own legitimacy. I mean, as if they needed any more help. But they are doing it in a very blatant way. Everyone can see that they're trying to serve the narcissist here. They're serving a narcissistic agenda. This is my shadow interpretation of the card. So I think the irony is that it will actually help the Dems more, because they're going to be going like, whoa, really? You're going to be that naked? You're going to be that naked with it? So it undermines even that kind of illusory sense of fair play and being genteel, which is a little bit of what the Texan thing can be about, being polite, and, you know, even though we know it may not necessarily be true. But the point is, I think it's too obvious. I think it's too obvious. It's naked. Here I put a little bikini top on her, so the algorithm doesn't, you know, for nudity, but it's naked. Yeah, it's naked. It's naked interference. Oh, fascinating. Okay, so that was that Texans view. Now let's look at the blue states. Let's see, one card pull again. What is the blue states response? We already know what Gavin Newsom has said, but other blue states have said things too. So let's see, blue states. What's the blue state response? They respond.
For some reason my card scares me, and I don't know why. I'm just saying what I feel when I got my card.
You've not peeped though. You didn't peep, did you?
No, I have no idea.
Because you're going first, Sheila. You're going first.
Yeah.
All right, on to 3. 1, 2, 3. Ooh, how do you interpret your card, Sheila? This is the response of the Dems.
The landfill. They're going to take the trash out, put it in the landfill. That's as I say, it kind of scares me a little bit. They're getting angry. They're getting done with it. They're like putting the landfill. They're going to level the field.
Wow.
They're going to take the trash out.
Yep. Oh, all right.
Fascinating. Susan, how do you interpret your card?
We have the Lovers. I think they're going to make pacts with other states. I think the governors are going to get together, because I think Newsom is ready to do this on his own. Like, he doesn't care. He's ready. He's done it. Mm-hmm. But I feel like some other states need cover, like Illinois with another blue state. Like, their safety in numbers is what I'm hearing. So I think there's going to be pacts. Also, I think they realize that they have to present like a front. Like, we can't just have California do this. We need to have at least 3 or 4 states really step up and say, we're not divided, we're together. So to me, this is a pact. This is the Lovers making deals.
Yeah, making deals, contract, gosh. And as you guys know, I've been talking about this for a while. Do you remember I said the way I see things going, unfortunately, I said that the blue states may be the ones to secede first. This isn't obviously official seceding, but in a way, we're kind of getting there, because what choice do they have? I've always been seeing this. The GOP will be so provocative. We'll have to see. If we look here, the blue states, we have the Hanged Man.
Yikes.
Of course, the Hanged Man can talk about things not moving very much and stuff like that, but that's not really what I think this card is saying. You'll notice here, there's a halo here, the halo of enlightenment around his head. The Hanged Man can talk about a change in perspective, seeing things from a different angle. I think the blue states are now seeing it wide and clear, and they are like, these people are prepared to cheat and gerrymander nakedly in front of everyone. And I think there may have been a part of the blue states that were thought, no, are they really going to do it? Are they really going to be this blatant? It's now past. So their perspective has changed now. And I think it's about level the field. Oh, the doggies joined us. Lady G, how do you interpret your card?
Well, I also got the Hangman. So yes, they've decided to overturn this, to see it from a different viewpoint. It's time to fight fire with fire. And so, yes, they're ready to overturn this. They've said enough is enough of this.
Wow. And then we have here Shayo is saying, with redistricting, California voters will decide where Texas voters aren't being given a choice. Right. This is the start of something, guys. You've been seeing it here, breaking news, but this is the start of something. And just to add a bit of astrology in there, I was saying on my channel the other day, Jupiter is going to enter sidereal Cancer on between the 18th to the 19th of October, where he'll become exalted. He's known as a planet of wealth and opportunity, but he's also a planet of enlightenment and seeing the bigger picture. I think by then, something major and significant will be happening in the United States, where people are not going to be able to deny things anymore. Look what's happened. This breaking news we found today. The blue states have to respond. They have to respond. They can't let this stand, isn't it? So now it's up the ante, hasn't it? Oh, my goodness.
Also today, I saw that they're still looking into the voting, especially all the swing states, that so many votes were changed. And there's no way that Trump won all the swing states in the votes that he did. So they are looking into those machines and the votes that were changed.
By now they know how they've cheated. By now they know.
Yeah.
Right. And there's been documents that have been out about it, Substacks written on it. And you've noticed the mainstream media has been very, 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 very not wanting to kind of talk about this. But I think things are now reaching this. I think for me is going to be defined as a landmark in like, you know how, Susan, you got that Wheel of Fortune in the Texas one. I really do think that this is a defining moment, because the blue states have to do something now. They have nakedly in front of everyone gerrymandered, and they're saying, we're going to steal it right from you. So there has to be a response. And then another response begets another response. My goodness. But it's time, to take out the trash. It's time for the blue states to fight back. Gavin is obviously doing his bit, but I think, like you say, Susan, it's going to be cover for the other ones. Lady G and Sheila, everything. Ooh, wow. Okay. Are we ready for the next question? This is going to be a one card pull on Stephen Miller. And we're going to have a Shakespeare there as well. We'll have the Shakespeare. She's face. All right. This has come in from Cheryl Renee. And she's always got incredible things to say. So she says, love and light to you, Hoagie, and your delectable damsels of Delphi. J.D. Vance said that if he were on a long intercontinental flight, out of all the people in the world, who would he like as his companion for that flight? He said, Stephen Miller. Is it possible, like many of the Nazis of World War II, that they're more than just friends? She says. One card pull, and then we'll get some Shakespeare, and then we'll probably have to call it a day there. Stephen Miller for me is just, ugh.
You might need bleach for my eyes. Forget Shakespeare. I mean, okay.
Oh. All right, so one card pull. Stephen Miller, J.D. Vance, for entertainment purposes only. Is there more there? Ugh, Stephen. Ugh, yuck. All right. After 3, and we've got 2,988 of you here with me right now. Thank you, with us. All right. 1, 2, 3. Ooh, okay. So who went first last time? Was it Sheila? You went first, wasn't it, on the last pull? So Susan, you're first this time. How do you interpret your card?
I have the Knight of Wands. And this is a sense of urgency, a sense of communication, also a sense of an arrow seeking its target. Like it, you know what I mean? Like these two people are senders and receivers. You guys, please don't do anything in the, please just don't even go there. But anyway, yes, I think there's more to it than, is it sexual? I don't know, but there's a business relationship there. There is they think the same, you know what I mean? They're on the same wavelength as far as their ideologies, their business, and probably some other ways as well. So that's what this is for me, is communication and alignment, aligning together.
Oh gosh, fascinating. And I could see on your card there as well, planet Mercury was on there as well. Mercury is the planet of friendship and communication. Right. So it's there. Now, with my card here, it's saying, is there potentially more? And I'm going to say maybe. You know why? Because I've got the Knight of Cups, which is traditionally associated with romance. Yeah. With romance, or being an envoy, making an offer. So I think there is certainly an element here of reciprocity, and at the very least a bit of bromance going on, because like Susan's saying, they are aligned in their ideas. They're aligned in their ideas. Let's not forget too as well that J.D. Vance is really properly really in cahoots with Peter Thiel. And Peter Thiel is an architect of a lot of this and some other ones. But yes, I'm not going to say full-blown romance, but there's an attraction between the two, definitely. Lady G?
Well, I've got Sunset Boulevard. And my close-up, Mr. Tamil. So I think that they are, in romance with Nazism, etc., and wanting to bring all of that back, the old Hollywood days of, glory. Yes. Every time, like I said, I see Stephen Miller, I see him in his past life as a Nazi with the...
Me too.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Me too.
Yeah,
they're still in that mindset together.
Yeah. He's vile. He's vile. And Sheila, how do you interpret your card?
Well, I also see Stephen Miller as a general from the Nazi Party, and I also see the general as well. I don't know why, but I've always seen him a lieutenant, whatever, but he's like obedient to these generals, and I've always seen that, like he was in there. I got run away. I mean, if they had one partner to go run away with, they would run away together. You know what I mean?
That's basically what he said, right? He said, yeah, I'll pick that man to go on this.
Yeah. So a long trip, whatever. So they prefer to be in each other's company. Most heterosexual men, this is the legit heterosexual men, would pick a woman if they had to go run off into the sunset.
What about his wife?
Yeah.
Well, I just documentary on his wife, and she's something. She's a power hungry. She's very narcissistic. She reports from her family, from her friends, that she's evil, she's mean, she's power hungry. She's never, you know, so she's buddied up with him for other reasons.
Yeah, obviously, yeah, because how else could you're not marrying again for entertainment purposes only, but it's not for JD Vance's looks. Let's put it that way. It's certainly not that. Right, let's do a pull, Shakespeare pull for Stephen Miller, just to kind of get a little vibe there. Lady G, did you call last week?
I think so.
Yes. So Sheila, so you know the routine. Tell me where to stop, and we'll get the Bard's take on Stephen Miller, and we'll end the show there because we're already over. Okay.
Stop.
Oh, this is interesting.
Anticipation.
This one here, if we say this one's from Henry VI, Part 2, says, "Hide not thy poison with such sugared words." Yeah. Hide not thy poison with such sugared words. And then on Macbeth, we've had this one come out before, but I think it's relevant for him. And it says here, "If thou speakest false upon the next tree, shalt thou hang alive till famine cling thee." So you see here, Shakespeare's just got straight into the narrative, because when I tune in with his energy, I get Gollum.
Yes.
My precious, I'm gonna have all the power and the. He reminds me of Gollum, but he uses it with his language. You just know he's just there behind the scenes, pouring poison into everyone's ears. Ugh, horrible man. Right. Anyway, the time has gone in an absolute flash, so I just want to say a few more thank yous as well. So thank you so much to Fuchsia. Thank you so much to SW's, I don't know how to say, SW4692. Much appreciated. Thank you for everyone for joining us. Over 3,000 of you joined us here live. So thank you so much for joining us. And please, of course, be sure to like and subscribe and share, etc. Thank you, ladies, for your wonderful readings. Thank you, Lady G. Thank you, Sheila. And of course, thank you, Susan Lynn. It would be a pleasure to have you back on the show, but I hope you enjoyed it. Did you have a good time?
I had a blast. Are you kidding me? Somebody said strap in. I would have had I known in advance, but next time I will. I'll be ready. But it was such a blast to read with you guys. It really was. Thank you so much for having me on. Really appreciate it.
No problem. A pleasure. So what I'll do is after show, I'm going to drop you an email to see where you're next free, because I have a little rota going. And thank you again, everyone, for joining us. Wow, that was a real roller coaster tonight, wasn't it? We had some breaking news and everything, but as usual, the gifts and the talents of the ladies shone through like a beacon in the night. So we'll leave it there, everyone. Big love and bye for now. Mwah! Bye-bye.